Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Bain Break It Down Forex. It's your boy Big Bain in this thing, and you guys guessed it. Another week, another opportunity for us to make some money in the Forex market. So let's get right to it. All right. Boom, guys, get ready. All right. This week is the week. It's the week we've been all waiting for all year, right? Interest rates being dropped across the board for damn near every country, if you will. So CPI with the odd dollar on Tuesday, and then things jump off Wednesday. We got the Fed's rate, right? Powell gonna be letting us know, is he dropping it or what, right? We got the policy rate on the JPY. Thursday we got Euro with their policy rate, and then we end off the week on Friday with PCE, right, for the dollar, unemployment, GDP for the cat, right? We got a whole lot of economic news that will send a lot of volatility in the market this week. So guys, this is going to be the week for you to walk away with the bag Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, right? You just got to stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready, but I'm gonna get you ready. All right, so here we go. Boom, over on the dollar, guys. We got the double top, right? We dropped, pulled back, ran up. We were supposed to tap into supply, but we didn't. We consolidated. So pretty much how this is going to go, right, is two ways. We're either going to come out of consolidation, finally tap that supply, and then drop down to the FVG because it's acting as a magnet, right? Or vice versa, we'll get the drop to the fair value gap first, and then we'll get the rise, right? Either way, you guys want to wait. All right, it's simple. Wait until we get up to here. If we get here, take your opportunities that tell you, that relate to the dollar going down, right, to that FEG, and vice versa. Wait until price gets to this FEG before you make your decisions on plays that may relate to the dollar rising. It's that simple. All right. So my expectation is that we're going to sweep above consolidation first, tap into supply, because we're more near this, and that's where it was headed. It just got stalled. All right, so we're going to sweep liquidity of this consolidation, tap into supply, and then drop down to the fair value gap. So I'll be bullish, then bearish on the dollar for the week. All right, but again, not just taking anything based off of that, right? I'm waiting to see when it actually gets there, and then I'll start taking things based off of it being in these key areas. All right, that is the most important part. All right, just a little bit of patience goes a long way, guys. All right, I promise you. All right, moving over to the JPY. This is also going to explode. It is time, guys. All right, it swept the liquidity here, tapped into demand, playing around for a little bit, but it may take out these equal lows to the left that was a double bottom. Time will tell, right? But we are at one of our key areas, so it's good to take sells on the JPY pairs with the expectation that the JPY could rise. All right, huge imbalance that it has not really fully filled or gotten that supply. Right now we were bearish, right? Broke the low, made the new low, pulled back and started dropping, so we can still drop to continue breaking the lows. But as you can see right on the chart, we're stalling at this level of demand, and possibly could be headed back up. All right, so I'm bullish on the JPY, just right out the gate. We may have a situation like this last week. We were bearish, and then it just completely, once the week began, it just completely dropped, completely tanked, right? And it did it for the rest of the week. Whoop de whoop, right? We may have the complete opposite happening this week, where it just right out the gate, it just shoots up and possibly keep rising after that. All right, but bullish on the JPY. All right, over to the odd dollar. Got a lot of consolidation going on. Broke the low, pulled up, right? Tapped into a bit of a supply, a bit of this FEG, but we're just in the mix right now, so it's real hard to tell which way the odd dollar wants to go. So I'll just be leaving that alone for the week. All right, guys, moving over to euro dollar. All right, looking at this, and we can see we got that double bottom. We changed character to start the pullback, but we pull back to this fair value gap, and I can see the possibility of us now sweeping the liquidity behind this consolidation, tapping into the fair value gap before it rises. And see what this lines up with is the dollar rising first, right, to get to its supply area, right, that will make the euro fall to get to its demand area, and then we'll get, you know, the rise on euro as we get the fall on the dollar. So this should be one of your go-to plays for the week, euro dollar, looking for that buying opportunity from this demand area. Be very careful that it may sweep the low, right? So it may come all the way down, sweep these equal lows, right, give you a little push, and then start to come up, right? So you just got to be mindful of that. And we look left and we can see, right, there's definitely possibility for it to kind of, you know, get a little bit of an extra push below that, all right, before it rises. So just be careful, you know, not giving yourself enough wiggle room, right, from this demand area to cover that potential sweep of these equal lows, which liquidity sits behind. All right, guys, so bearish and then bullish on euro USD. Right, over the pound dollar, same exact thing, right? We got a nice pull to the fair value gap, right? It was gravitated to it. So now we can get the rise on the pound dollar, and I'll be bullish on pound dollar. New Zealand dollar, right? Kind of, you know, coming up like a channel, if you will, a bit of a, you know, wedgy channel, you know, but channel nonetheless. All right. So we have it here like this. All right, so I expect possibly a sweep of that liquidity to the downside, right, as the dollar rises. Okay, and then we may get some potential buying opportunities from this demand area on New Zealand dollar. All right, so just bearish, right, to come on down right out the gate, and then play around and potentially start to rise on New Zealand dollar. All right, moving over to dollar CAD, and again, you know, just a lot going on and can't really quite tell what it wants to do from this area. So again, you know, for the most part, it's been pulling back, right? After it broke the high, made the new high, it slowly but surely started making downtrend structure. It's still in downtrend structure in terms from this high to where price is now. So I do expect it to get down to this demand area before it potentially wants to make a move. But ultimately, all we really got to do is wait until it gets to this area or that one, and then make the decision. All right, guys. So, and undecided right now on dollar CAD is too mixing. All right, over to dollar CHF, and again, you know, we got a fair value gap, another supply area right above this one. Okay, and another fair value gap and a supply area right above that one. Right, so there's a whole lot going on with the dollar CHF. Again, this typically mimics the dollar the closest, but we don't really, you know, quite know. Well, not know. We don't really want to go with the correlation every single time we're looking for a trade. Right, it's great when it lines up, but you just have to understand that that's not your main concern. Is to make sure that it correlates. Your main concern is to make sure that you understand the price action of the pair that you're looking at and what the technical analyst is showing you, right? Not the correlation, which is still technical, but something that's not 100%. All right, so looking at this, we can push up a little bit more to this supply and then drop, right? But we gotta, you know, let that play out. All right, so I'll say bullish for now on the dollar CHF, but you know, at some point getting to either one of these supply areas, we may turn around and begin you know, to be bearish. All right, over to dollar JPY. So I told you guys about the JPY having a good chance of rising from its demand area. Therefore, every JPY pair, right, AJ, EJ, CJ, CHF, JPY, GJ, New Zealand dollar, right, I mean New Zealand yen, all of them, right, we're looking to sell those this week. So please, you know, make sure you check those out. All right, but I'm bearish on dollar JPY. All right, pound odd, we're sweeping liquidity. We have nice downtrend structure to this demand, so I'm expecting it to just get to that demand area, and then we'll be looking for our buying opportunities from here. So temporarily bearish and then overall bullish on pound odd. All right, over to pound CAD, same kind of deal. We're sweeping liquidity, potentially getting down to this low before we got a buying opportunity. So this may come during the middle of the week, so I'm just letting you guys know it's on its way, right? So just get ready to try to take advantage of the move up, which is what this is really supposed to do. This was our pullback, this is our run, here's our pullback all the way back down, and then we'll get that run up to break above these highs. So getting in for a potential buy from this low up to these highs, you're looking at almost 400 pips. All right, so again, it can happen, but you gotta be ready for it. All right, so I'm bullish on the pound CAD, but after a slight drop, just getting a bit lower. All right, over to pound CHF, and we just swept this low, right? So we could potentially start it heading back up, right? Filling any of this imbalance, which is huge, right, to the upside. All right, and tapping into that supply. So I'm just going to go with bullish, right, on the pound CHF for right now. But if we, don't get above the supply, we can start turning around and heading back down, right? But definitely still bullish to get up to that point. All right, bullish on pound CHF. All right, once again, GJ. All right, another JPY pair. We got the nice symmetrical triangle, right, with that zigzag up, right? We'll get into the apex possibly, and then come Wednesday, when it's time for the Bank of Japan to announce their rates, right? We'll probably get that drop on GJ as pound JPY, as the JPY index looks extremely bullish. So again, UJ, all the J's, I'm looking to sell them this week and make a killing. They have a huge imbalance, right, which will gravitate price to it, right, throughout this week. So again, trying to give you guys this layup, right, or this alley hoop. All right, all you got to do is dunk it. Bearish on JPY. All right, over to pound New Zealand, and looks like we're getting at a key area of demand. I will be bullish on pound New Zealand for it to rise right from this area. So just wait for it to get there, give you a little something, and then take it up for the buy. All right, over to silver. All right, silver consolidating as we had a head and shoulders, right? We broke the neckline and we started to fall. We haven't gotten that pullback after the break of the neckline, so we could definitely get that, right? But as of right now, we definitely want to see what it does coming out of consolidation. Okay, I would prefer for it to push down first, that way I can buy it from this level and take it up, for that retest, filling this imbalance. And then we all know, just silver and gold seem like they're not gonna stop, right? You know what I mean? Heading to the moon. So again, good opportunity to buy it from this area as well as this one being the better option out of the two, right? And watch out for that sweep of these equal lows. So again, we can get a breakout, sweeping the liquidity behind the consolidation, tapping into demand, and possibly sweeping liquidity from these lows, right, before it rises. Okay, so it's going to be very tricky on silver, but if you just be patient, it will show you what it wants to do, especially like by Wednesday. All right, bullish on silver, but a little drop coming first potentially. All right, over to gold, and again, same thing. We got some equal lows that have liquidity behind it, and we can pull back to that, right, to sweep that before we rise up to this fair value gap, which price will most likely want to gravitate to. Okay, we had the double top, we broke the neckline, but we really haven't quite gotten that retest, right, back to that fair value gap or in this area. So I'm just expecting gold to give us a little bit more of a push down, and then I'll be looking to buy it from these areas, taking it back up to the fair value gap, right? Temporarily bearish and then bullish on gold. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving over to natural gas, looking at this from a higher time frame. We have a very nice setup for natural gas to give us a drop, right? It may push up a little bit more into supply before it does that drop, but we got a huge imbalance here that prices, again, going to gravitate to. So watch out for extra push up and then the push down on natural gas. I am bearish. All right, crude oil. All right, we got a nice retest back to an area that we broke. Looking at this on the 2-hour time frame, we can see very nice structure, right, and balance here that hasn't been filled. And looking at this, it kind of looks like divergence, and it is. All right, chart making higher highs, RSI making lower highs. All right, so we do have bearish divergence. have a good opportunity to get into a sell right now, taking it down to either this demand level or this fair value gap, right, for however many pips that may net us. All right, looking at roughly about 300 pips. All right, guys, bearish on oil. All right, SPY. Right, so eventually after the drop, it rose up, breaking the highs, making a new high, leaving behind huge imbalance. Right, so we can go and get that over time, right, meaning the middle of the week, right? So it may do a little bit of dancing here, and then eventually we'll get that drop. So please watch out for that coming into this week. Okay, definitely, in the middle of the week is when you should expect to see crazy volatility, all right, on these indices. Okay, bearish on SPY. Over to natural gas, NAS. All right, same deal, right? Made that new high. Now again, can still go higher, but for now, I'm expecting it to start making that retracement and eventually fill this imbalance, right? Who knows when that'll happen, but that's what I'll be looking out for this week on NAS. All right, I'm bearish. Last but not least, US 30, and looks like I didn't even change the chart, right? Looks just like SPY, looks just like NAS. And again, expecting that retracement, right, all the way down, right? We may get here and keep rising, right? May get here and keep rising, but for it to do that, it has to drop, right? So bearish initially, just out the gate, may happen very slowly, may not happen at all, right? We may respect this break of structure and keep rising. But my point is that when we see that price has broken these highs, guys, you should start expecting retracements, especially when it made some kind of swing high. All right, who knows how far those retracements will be. Again, a lot of times if we take a low and a high, right, Fibonacci will tell you, okay, we're most likely going to get in this area as far as the retracement is concerned, right? But when you have a good eye of the higher time frame structure, and then you can see things like fair value gaps and liquidity sitting even deeper behind that, right, then we have a chance to go and get that as well. So just know that these indices are still bearish, right? Everybody believes that the indices are going to just keep rising, right? But things in the economy don't line up with the indices showing that it's all good. Okay, so that bubble will burst, and when it does, you guys will probably be on top of it because we're expecting the drop, right? While everybody else is just thinking, man, this is too good to be true, right? How high can it fly? Well, it's going to show you real soon that that flight is about to land, right? So there it is this week, guys. Please make sure that you take advantage of the opportunities because it will be a very eventful week, probably one we won't forget. All right, and that will speed things up and start the markets back to moving in their regular fashion and not just on Thursday and Friday of the end of the week, right, like it has been, right? So again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Get your auntie and uncles in here, let them know what time it is, and I'll probably try to make it live this week for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so you guys can see what that's like real time. And other than that, enjoy yourself, and I'm out. All right, it's your boy. Peace.
Want to get money? Want to get paid? Master Forex, like a sensei? Then you gotta come and swing my way. And if you want to fast forward, hit replay.